All right, hello and welcome. So, you've all seen those mind-blowing demos, right? AI agents pulling off incredible feats in just a few seconds. It looks amazing. But how do you actually take that cool prototype and turn it into a real product? Something your customers can actually depend on. Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. The real journey from a clever demo to a trustworthy production-grade AI system.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. Spinning up a basic AI agent, it's easier than it's ever been. Anyone can do it. But trusting it, making sure it's reliable, safe, and isn't going to go completely off the rails out in the wild, that is the real challenge. And honestly, that's what separates a fun weekend project from a serious business tool.
And get this, a staggering 80% of the total effort in building an agent isn't even spent on its core intelligence, the smart part. Nope, it's spent on all the other stuff, the infrastructure, the security, the validation, everything you need to make it truly production grade. It's that last mile, and it's often the thing that makes or breaks the entire project.
Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with what I call the AI trust gap. Then, we'll walk through the journey to production, talk about the idea of a living agent, see what happens when agents collaborate, and finally, we'll tie it all together with the Agent Ops playbook. Let's dive in.
All right, first up, the AI trust gap. Think of this as this huge chasm between a prototype that works perfectly in the lab, under perfect conditions, and a truly robust system that can handle the absolute chaos of the real world. And trust me, getting this wrong, it has some very, very real consequences. And I'm not just talking about little technical glitches here. I'm talking about major business failures. Seriously, just imagine for a second. A customer service agent getting tricked into giving away free products, or an agent accidentally exposing your company's most confidential database. What about one that just runs up a massive bill over the weekend because nobody's watching it? Or a critical agent that just stops? No warning. These are the nightmares we're trying to prevent.
So the big question is, how do we actually prevent all that chaos? Well, it all starts with a super disciplined pre-production process. This is where we build what I like to call the trust machine. It's a whole set of automated checks and balances designed to guarantee quality and safety before a single user ever gets near it. Let's take a look at how we build this thing.
The whole thing, this entire process, is built on one single core principle: evaluation-gated deployment. It's a really simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful. It basically means this: no new version of your agent ever goes live unless it can first prove through a whole battery of automated tests that it's safe, that it's effective, and that it's not going to break anything.
And how do we enforce that? With a three-phase pipeline called CI/CD. That's continuous integration and continuous deployment. Think of it like a funnel. At the top, step one, you've got quick checks that happen before any code even gets merged. It's about catching the easy stuff early. Then, if it passes, it goes to a staging environment for much tougher validation. And only after it passes both of those gates does it move to the final stage, a human-approved deployment to production. You're building confidence at every single step.
But even that final deployment, we don't just flip a big switch and hope for the best. No way. We use smart, safe rollout strategies, like a canary release. With a canary, you release the new version to just a tiny slice of your users, maybe 5%. Then you watch it like a hawk. If everything looks good, awesome. You gradually roll it out to everyone else. If not, you pull it back. It is your absolute ultimate safety net.
And of course, safety isn't just about preventing bugs, right? It's about stopping malicious behavior too. A truly trustworthy agent needs a defense in-depth security strategy. It all starts with a clear policy, kind of like its core constitution. That constitution is then enforced by hard guardrails and filters. And the whole setup is constantly validated by proactive testing. We're talking red teaming, trying to break it, to find and fix weaknesses before anyone else does.
Okay, so we did it. Our agent is live. Pop the champagne, right? Well, not so fast. The work is absolutely not over. In fact, you could say it's just beginning. Because an agent out in the wild is a living, breathing system. It's constantly interacting, constantly evolving, and managing it requires a continuous, never-ending operational loop.
That loop always starts with one thing: observe. This is your agent's sensory system. It's how you see, hear, and feel what it's doing. You simply can't manage what you can't see. So we use logs, traces, and metrics to get this complete, real-time picture of everything the agent is doing, what it's thinking, and even what it's costing. This becomes our ground truth. Now, just observing is useless, right?
Observation without action is just a very expensive dashboard. So the next crucial phase is to act. These are your real-time levers, your system's automated reflexes that you use to maintain stability. Think of a circuit breaker that instantly shuts down a tool that's going haywire, or an automated alert that flags a weird interaction and sends it straight to a human for review. These are your immediate tactical controls.
And finally, the last part of the loop, we evolve. This is the strategic big picture part. This is where we step back, analyze all those patterns we saw during the observe phase, and use them to make the agent fundamentally better over time. We're turning real-world user data and even failures into durable, long-lasting improvements to its logic, its tools, and its safety systems.
So let's be super clear about the difference here. ACT is all about those immediate, tactical reflexes. It's about keeping the lights on right now. Evolve, on the other hand, is the strategic, long-term process of learning from everything that happened to build a smarter, more resilient system for tomorrow. And you absolutely 100% need both to succeed. All right, so once you've gotten the hang of operating a single agent, what's next? The next frontier, the next level up, is getting them to work together. So how do you take a bunch of isolated, specialist agents and turn them into a powerful, collaborative team? The key, in a word, is standardization. And that standardization really boils down to two different but complementary protocols. First, you've got MCP, the Model Context Protocol. This is for simple, direct commands. It's like saying, hey tool, do this specific thing, like calculate this number. It's very direct. Then you have A2A, the Agent-to-Agent Protocol. This is for delegating complex goals to another intelligent agent. It's more like saying, hey you, achieve this complex goal, like analyze this whole problem and give me a recommendation. One is about commands, the other is about collaboration. Okay, that might sound a little abstract, so let's make it super concrete with an analogy. Imagine an auto repair shop run entirely by AI agents. A customer shows up. They don't give a bunch of technical specs, right? They just state a high-level goal using that A to A protocol. They say to the shop manager agent, my car is making a strange noise.
So what does the shop manager agent do? It uses A2A again to delegate that complex task to a specialist, the mechanic agent. Now the mechanic agent gets to work, and it uses that simpler MCP protocol to call its specific, low-level tools like firing up the scan vehicle tool or looking something up with the get repair procedure tool.
Okay, so after diagnosing the problem, the mechanic realizes it needs a new part. But it doesn't have a tool for ordering parts. So what does it do? It uses A2A again, this time to talk to a totally separate external parts supplier agent to find the right part and place an order. See how that works? A2A for high-level delegation, MCP for low-level tools. It's a perfect example of how they work together to solve complex problems. So, when you put all of these pieces together, you take the pre-production discipline, you add the post-production operational loop, and you throw in the standards for collaboration, what you get is a whole new discipline. And we call it the Agent Ops Playbook.
So what's your path forward? Well, it really depends on where you are today. If you're just starting out, my advice is to focus on the fundamentals. Build your first evaluation dataset, get a basic CI/CD pipeline running, and establish some monitoring. But if you're already scaling, your focus needs to shift. It's all about automating that feedback loop and really standardizing on those interoperability protocols like A2A, so your agents can truly collaborate.
And that brings us to the final and maybe most important thought. The whole point of all of this, it isn't just about preventing bad things from happening. It's about unlocking incredible new possibilities. By building this foundation of trust, we can finally move beyond single isolated agents. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that we actually have a playbook to build AI we can truly trust, what could a whole team of collaborating agents achieve for you?